Good morning. My name is Kiran Kumar. In this video, I am going to explain the topic cooperative organizations. The topic cooperative organizations. This is the subject of joint stock companies. The subject code is 18 CCP 204C. This is the second semester subject under C18 syllabus. Giant stock companies is the name of the subject and the topic is cooperative organizations. In this class, I am going to explain the cooperative organizations and the merits of cooperative organizations and demerits of cooperative organizations. Cooperative organizations, what is a type of business firm? What is this type of business firm? That is cooperative organization. And what are the advantages over them? What are the advantages over the other business concerns? That is, it may be a sole trading or partnership or a joint stock company. And what are the disadvantages in this type of business concern? Demerits of cooperative organizations. Advantages, what is a cooperative organization? That is the definition of the cooperative organization. And the characteristics of cooperative organization. The characteristics of cooperative organization. The merits of cooperative organization and demerits of the cooperative organization. The merits of cooperative organization and demerits of the cooperative organization. The merits and demerits of cooperative organization. In the last class, I have explained what is a resolution and what are the different types of resolutions. In the last class, I have explained very clearly. The last class I have explained very clearly about resolutions. This is the topic of the meetings concerned to the meetings of a giant stock company. There are so many types of meetings conducted in the giant stock companies. A statutory meeting, a board of directors meeting, a annual general meeting, or in some situations they may need to conduct extraordinary general meeting. In the meetings, whatever the points discussed in the meetings, the points they discussed in the meeting put for voting. The majority persons, the majority voting, that decisions are termed to the resolutions. These resolutions are recorded in the minutes book of the giant stock companies. In the minutes book of giant stock company. Here there are so many There are the types of resolutions are there, that is ordinary resolutions, special resolutions, and the resolutions requiring a special notice. The resolutions requiring a special notice. The ordinary resolutions is taken in the annual general meetings with a minimum majority. For the issues of the annual general report and the profit and loss account, appointing a director, or removal of a director, or appointing an auditor, etc. And in this case, the resolutions is passed after the completion of discussions held in the meetings. The resolutions are passed. These resolutions are termed as ordinary resolutions. And special resolutions is also passed in the annual general meeting or extraordinary general meetings depending upon the situations. The resolutions will be taken in each and every meeting, that is in a statutory meeting or a board of directors meeting or annual general meeting or a extraordinary general meeting. These resolutions are recorded in a book. These resolutions are recorded in a book. That book is called as minutes of meeting. All the proceedings in the meetings, all the business transactions in the meeting are recorded in a special book called minutes of meeting. About all these things, I have explained it very clearly in the last videos, last classes, that is the formation of a joint stock company and the procedure for incorporation of a joint stock company and procedure for allotment of shares and reissue of shares and different types of company meetings and different various terms used in the company's meetings and the important points regarding the resolutions. So the complete information or the topics in the joint stock company, about joint stock company, has been completed. In today's class, in this video, I'm going to explain another type of business concern is cooperative cooperative organizations. Another type of business concern is cooperative organizations. What is a cooperative organization? It is a voluntary association of persons. For mutual cooperation with service motive, not profit, formed for obtaining the day-to-day requirements of goods members at cheaper rates. Here, before going into detail about this cooperative organizations, these are established not for the profit, the service motive, not for the profit, and these are established for the purpose of service. And it is a voluntary association of persons. For mutual cooperation. Here in the definition, or here in the term, that is cooperative organization, there is a term cooperative. There is a term cooperative. Here, the meaning of cooperative is nothing but a mutual cooperation in between the members. The mutual cooperation in between the members. And this is not for a profit motive organization. This is not for a profit motive organization. At this point, I want to give a brief about what is a profit and what is a not profit organization. What is a profit and what is a non profit motive organizations, and the types of business concerns, so that we will clearly understand about it. Non profit organization called cooperative organization. In business organization are various types of business firms. Various types of business firms. There are that is so many kinds of business concerns are there. Sole trading business concern, it is a profit oriented organization, profit motive. And a partnership business concern is there, that is also profit motive. And a joint stock company is also there. And a joint stock company is also there. And there are non profitable, non trading organizations are there. Non trading or non profit organizations are there. The non trading organization means the organizations which carry out business activities not for profit. The organizations which carry out the organizations which carry out business not for profit purpose. Not for profit purpose. The organizations which carry out business not for profit purpose. Not for profit purpose. There are different types of non-trading organizations are there. Clubs, charitable trust, educational institutions, hospitals, cultural organizations. Cultural organizations. Here there are different types of non-trading organizations are there in the society. Non-trading organizations are there in the society, and they are established not for the motive of profit earning. For example, say cultural activities, Mother Teresa Trust. You can say, you can take an example of so many cultural trust, cultural organizations. They are established for not a profit motive, for not getting profits. They don't think about, they are only the service oriented organizations. Clubs, charitable trust, hospitals, educational institutions, etc. And the trading organizations which are established for profit motive. The trading organizations are established for profit motive. The main aim of a trading organization, a trade is nothing but buying and selling of goods with a profit. With a profit. Here the trading organizations are established to earn profits. There are kinds of trading organizations. There are kinds of business concerns are there. That is a sole trading concern and a profit partnership business concern and a joint stock company and cooperative organization. Cooperative organization is also comes under one type of trading organization. Here in the society there are two types of organizations are there, trading organizations and non-trading organizations. trading organizations as well as non-trading organizations. So non-trading organizations in the society are established for not earning profits. They established only for the service to the society. Old age homes are one kind of non-trading organization. Orphan homes and blind schools and some cultural societies, cultural organizations or comes under this non-trading organizations category. And in the trading organizations and other organizations are all comes under the profits, the organization which works to earn profit comes under trading organization. In the trading organization, there are various forms of business concerns are there. There are various forms of business concerns are there. They are sole trading business concern and partnership type of business concern. Sole trading business concern, partnership business concern, joint stock company, and one of the business concern under this trading business concern is cooperative organization. Is cooperative organization. Under the sole trading concern, I want to give a brief about this sole trading and partnership and a giant stock company. Little bit about a giant stock company. Then I'll go to this cooperative organizations and the characteristics of cooperative organization and then advantages and disadvantages. Under this trading organizations, the oldest type of organization is sole trading business concern. Here only one person one person will do the business. He is the only person. He himself invests the capital and he looks the activities of the business. He look the activities of the business. The main disadvantage is unlimited liability. In the sole trading concern, only one person will maintain the business activities. He is only a person proprietor of that business. He looks the routine or the total activities of the business. The profit or loss, whatever it may be, he bears. That person, single person, only bears. This kind of business we see in the society in each and every place. There is a pan tailor, a local small kiranam shops, etc. These are all comes under sole trading type of business concerns. These are all comes under sole trading type of business concerns. In the this drawback is he cannot invest more capital if he is have a capability to extend the business, but he doesn't have a he himself cannot invest more capital, so that the business expansion is limited. And another kind of business concern is a partnership business. A partnership business. Two or more persons will jointly establish a business. by investing the capital minimum two persons, and the maximum number of persons is depends upon the type of business they are going to establish, and the total partners will establish will as put the capital in the business, and they looks the activities of the, and the profit or losses are shared by them as per the agreement made between them, as per the partnership agreement made between them. It is also here there is a unlimited liability. The concept is unlimited liability, the drawback. And another type of business concern here in the partnership business is also expansion is limited. They cannot invest more and more capital to extend the business. And one more type of business concern is there, that is a joint stock company. That is a joint stock company. Here, joint stock company is a company, it's a voluntary association, it's an artificial person created by law, and there are so many shareholders are there to the joint stock company to invest the capital in the joint stock, and there is a limited liability to the shareholders, limited liability to the shareholders. The business expansion is not limited in this type of companies, this type of business concern, that is a giant stock company. The promoters collects the required capital by issuing shares or debentures to the general public. The people or the investors who have interested to purchase the shares or debentures, they can invest, they can purchase the shares in a giant stock company. The capital is not limited because the shareholders are more and more. Here, the shareholders are the real owners of the company, and the profit is divided to all the shareholders in a company as a dividend to each shareholder. If the company is running good and the business of the company is good and the company is getting more and more profits, the shareholders will get a higher rate of dividend, higher amount of dividend. If the company is in loss, the shareholders has to forego only their share capital amount. It's called a limited liability. It's called a limited liability. Up to now, what have discussed, that is sole trading or partnership or a joint stock company, comes under a profit established for getting profit. They are established, this type of business concerns are established. The main aim of the promoters or a partners or a proprietor in a sole trading organization to aim to get maximum or more profits, to get maximum or more profits. And another type of business concern is a cooperative organization. Okay, right now what have discussed, the last three types of business firms, main aim is to get more and more profits. They are established to get maximum profits. They are established to get maximum profits, more and more profits. The main aim of that organizations are to get a maximum profits, more profits. Here, after this, under this trading organization, one more type of business concern is a cooperative organization. Is a cooperative organization. It is also comes under a trading business concern, but it is a voluntary association of persons. There is a small difference between that sole trading or partnership or a joint stock company to this cooperative organization. And these are established especially not for getting more profits. These are established for not getting more profits, and it is a service motive organization. And it is a service motive organization. It is a voluntary association of persons. It is a voluntary association of persons for mutual cooperation with service motive, not profit. Cooperative. The name itself is saying it is a cooperative. Cooperative means it is a service motive organization, not for getting profits. The maximum profits are profits. Formed for obtaining the day to day requirements of goods of members at cheaper rates. Formed for obtaining the day to day requirements of goods of members at cheaper rates. Formed for obtaining the day to day requirements of goods of members at cheaper rates. Okay, these are established, these are established for not getting profits, and is a service oriented, and these are formed for obtaining day-to-day requirements of goods members at cheaper rates, at cheaper rates. It is a voluntary association of persons. A cooperative organization is a voluntary association of persons. It is a voluntary of association and mutual cooperation. Mutual cooperation. And then characteristics of cooperative organization. The first one is it is a voluntary organization. It is a voluntary organization. A cooperative society is a voluntary organization formed by the members having a common objective of helping each other. They can enter and exit the firm without any coercion or intermission. Here, the voluntary organization means it is a cooperative society, is a voluntary organization formed by the members having a common objective. Each and every member in the cooperative society have a common goal, that is the service motive. Common goal, that is service motive, not for making profit. The helping nature, the common objective is helping to each other, helping to each other. They can enter and exit in the firm without any coercion, without any coercion. Democratic management. A managing committee is formed by single votes of all the members, and the management of the society is in the hands of the committee. A managing committee is formed by single votes of all the members, and the management of the society is in the hands of the committee. Democracy is a condition of its business success. Democracy is a condition of its business success. Here, the second characteristics or another characteristics of a cooperative organization is democratic management. Democratic management. A managing committee is formed by a single votes. A managing committee is formed by single votes of all the members and the management. A managing committee is formed by single votes of all the members and the management of the society is in the hands of the committee. A managing committee is formed by single votes of all the members, and the management of the society is in the hands of the committee. Democracy is a condition of its business success. Democracy is a condition of its business success. Then the important characteristics of a cooperative organization is service motive. The important characteristics is service motive. The primary objective of the cooperative society, the primary or the main objective here, the main objective of the cooperative society is to render services, is to render services to its members rather than earning profits. The primary objective of the cooperative society is to render its services to members rather than earning profits. The main aim of a cooperative society is not to earn profits or the maximum profits, not to earn profits or the non for profits. This is also one type of trading concern, but this is established for not making much profits, not making profits. It's a voluntary association. It's a voluntary association by the people to cooperate to help each other rather than getting profits, the day-to-day requirements at a cheaper rate, the day-to-day requirements at a cheaper rates. The primary objective of the cooperative society, the primary objective of the cooperative society is to render services to its members rather than earning profits, rather than earning profits. It is called service motive. It's called service motive. One man, one vote. One man, one vote. Each member is given one vote regardless of his capital contribution. Each member is given one vote regardless of his capital contribution. Every member has equal voice in the management. This is very important characteristics of a cooperative organization. That is one man, one vote. In case of a joint stock company, one share, one vote. One share, one vote. Here, in case of a cooperative organization, that is one man, one vote. Every member is given equal priority to speak in the process of management. Every member in the cooperative organization is given equal priority to give his voice in the management. The equal contribution of the capital, the equal contribution of the capital, and each member have one vote, and equal contribution will be in the part of management. Equal contribution will be in the part of management. Government control. The cooperative societies are regulated and controlled by the Cooperative Societies Act. The cooperative societies are regulated and controlled by the Cooperative Societies Act and State Cooperative Act. The society is required to submit their annual report and accounts to the Registrar of Cooperatives. Here in the government, there is a body to control these cooperative societies or state cooperative services or state cooperative societies and central cooperative societies. That is Registrar of Cooperatives. That is Registrar of Companies is a governing body of the government to give permissions, or to manage the legal to the joint stock company. Here there is a organization in the government is regulated the cooperative societies, that is registrar of cooperatives, that is registrar of cooperatives. The cooperative societies are regulated and controlled by the cooperative societies are regulated the cooperative societies are regulated and controlled by the Cooperative Societies Act and State Cooperative Societies Act The society is required to submit their annual report and accounts to the registrar of cooperative register of companies in case of a joint stock company, register of companies in case of a joint stock company type of business concern. For the cooperative societies, there is a governing body from the government, that is registrar of cooperatives. These cooperative societies under the control of registrar of cooperatives, and they need to submit the annual report and accounts. Distribution of surplus. The surplus profit left after distributing to it to the members as a dividend. The left amount or money is distributed among the members in the proportion of the business the members did with the cooperative society. Here, one of the point in the cooperative organization is distribution of surplus. The profit, these the cooperative society's main aim is to not for profit. It's a less profit. It's a minimum profit. They work with a less or minimum profit. Basically, they are established for helping each other, not for the society, helping each other. The surplus profit left after distributing it to the members as a dividend. The surplus profit left after distributing it to the members as a dividend. The left amount or money is distributed among the members in the proportion of the business the members did with the cooperative society. The surplus profits left after distributing it to the members as a dividend. The surplus profit left after distributing it to the members as a dividend. The leftover money, the left amount or money is distributed among the members in the proportion of the business the members did with the cooperative society. And then cash trading. Cash trading is one of the principles of cooperative societies. Cash trading is one of the principles of cooperative societies. When the cash trading principles is followed strictly, there are more chances of cooperative to develop. Cash trading helps in improving economy of cooperative. It ensures the reduction of collection of expenses and bad debts. The main characteristics of a cooperative society is cash trading. The main characteristics of a cooperative society is cash trading. Cash trading is one of the principles of cooperative societies. Cash trading is one of the principles of cooperative societies. When the cash trading principle is followed strictly, when the cash trading principle is followed strictly, there are more chances of cooperatives to develop. There are more chances. There are more chances of cooperatives to develop. So here the cash trading also helps in reducing the collection expenses and bad debts, and moreover bad debts. The cash trading is one of the main principle of the cooperative societies. With the help of this principle, only the cooperative societies develop, more chances having in development. This helps in improving economy of cooperative. This helps in improving economy of cooperative. It ensures the reduction of collection expenses and bad debt. It ensures the reduction of collection expenses and bad debts. Cooperative education and training. Cooperative education and training. Cooperative are found to be successful. Cooperative are found to be successful when each member working according to the principles of cooperation. Cooperative are found to be successful when each members working according to the principles of cooperation. All members should have a good knowledge about the aims and objectives of the societies. In fact, they must be well trained in performing various society, social activities. This helps in achieving the objectives of cooperative movement. Here, one of the important characteristics of a cooperative organization, one of the important characteristics of cooperative organization is the cooperative societies becomes successful when the members works according to the principles of cooperation. When the members works according to the principle of cooperation. When the members works according to the principles of cooperation. So that all the members should have a good knowledge, so that the members all the members in the organization should have a great and good knowledge, a complete knowledge about the aims and objectives of the societies, about the aims and objectives of societies. For this, they must be trained, they must be well trained. The training and cooperative education and the training helps the members to achieve the objectives. The education, the cooperative education and training helps the members to achieve the objectives of cooperative organizations, cooperative movement. Here, these are all the characteristics of the cooperative organization. Voluntary organization, these are established for not for the profit, that is maximum profits, and it is a voluntary organization, and it is a democratic management. The management of the society is in the hands of committee. Service motive, the main objective of the cooperative society is service motive. These are established for the service. And one man one vote, every member has a contribution in the capital, so that every person have one vote in the part of management, in the part of management. Government control, the societies are regulated and controlled under the control of registrar of cooperatives. It's the Cooperative Societies Act, State Cooperative Societies Act. These are regulated by the Registrar of Cooperatives. Distribution of surplus. Any profits left over is distributed as a dividend to each member. And cash trading. This is the main objective of a cooperative society, the cash trading. It eliminates the collection expenses, or it reduces the collection expenses and bad debts. And the proper education and training is needed to the members to achieve, to have a good knowledge, to have a good knowledge on the objectives of cooperative societies, so that they can achieve the objectives of cooperative movement at a greater extent. And the merits of cooperative organization, merits of cooperative organization and demerits of cooperative organization. It is established for the benefit of the members. It is established for the benefit of the members to meet day to day requirements are available. To meet day to day requirements are available. Whenever the consumer wants, he can get it. Whenever the consumer wants, he can get it. Advantage of bulk purchasing. Advantage of bulk purchasing. Quality products can be made available. Quality products can be made available. Management is effective. Every member is watchful. Nominal amount is contributed as capital. Risk of losses is minimum. These are all the advantages of cooperative organizations, cooperative societies. These are established for the benefit of the members. These are established for the benefit of the members to meet day to day requirements. What they are needed, they are available. Whenever the consumer wants, he can get it. And the advantage of bulk purchasing. The cooperative members will get the advantage of bulk purchasing. Quality products can be made available. Quality products can be made available. Management is effective. Management is effective. Quality products can be made available. Management is effective because everyone takes part in the management process. Everyone is contributed capital. Everyone have a one vote. So he can speak, he can give his voice in the part of the management. Every member is watchful. Every member is watchful. Nominal amount is contributed as capital. No maximum amount, more and more amount. Only the nominal amount which is required for the to for bulk purchasing only contributed as capital. And the loss, risk of loss is minimum. The risk of loss is minimum. These are the merits of cooperative organization and demerits of cooperative organization. Suffers from a lack of capital. Suffers from lack of capital. The cooperative organization suffers from the shortage of capital, and it has to work under the Register of Cooperative Act. Register of Cooperative. Maintenance of accounts and registers difficult. Maintenance of accounts and registers difficult. Maintenance of accounts and registers difficult. chances for fraud. Chances for fraud. Hired employees may not be sincere. Chances for fraud. Hired employees may not be sincere. Hired employees may not be sincere. Little scope for expansion. Little scope because the contribution of the capital is limited, so there is a less scope for expansion. Little scope for expansion. Election of managing committee as per rules. Election of managing committee as per rules. Scope for difference of opinion among the members. There may be a chance of getting a differences of opinions among the members. It suffers from lack of capital, and there is a governmental control, and the maintenance of accounts and registers is difficult. Chances of having fraud, and the employees hired or outsourced employees may not be sincere. There is a little scope for expansion, less chances of having expansion, and the election of managing committee should be as per rules, and scope for difference of opinion among the members. Scope for difference among opinion among the members. These are all the demerits of cooperative organization. Demerits of cooperative organizations. Okay, in this class I have clearly explained the cooperative organizations, merits of cooperative organizations, demerits of cooperative organizations. What is a cooperative organization? Cooperative organization, type of business concern, and what are the advantages of a cooperative organization, and what are the disadvantages of a cooperative organization. In simple terms, it is a voluntary association formed to help each other with a minimum required capital to meet the day-to-day requirements at cheaper cost. At cheaper cost. And this has to be controlled and regulated by a state governing body, that is registrar of cooperatives. There are so many advantages, that is it is a self-help generally, and some of the disadvantages are also there. To achieve these goals of the cooperative organization, the members need to be have a training and education, so that they can have more knowledge about the objectives of this cooperative organization. They can get good results. Everyone have a contribution of the capital, the cooperative organization, and each one have a vote, and everyone can be take a part in the management process. So this is about the type of business concern, that is a cooperative organization, and merits of cooperative organization, and demerits also there. Demerits are the maintenance of registers and accounts is somewhat difficult. The persons hired may not be sincere. There is a chance of having fraud, like that. Some disadvantages are also there. So this is about the cooperative society, cooperative organization. Thank you.